Lately been feeling so godly, undefeated and no one can stop me. Man, it's not thinking only the toppy. These niggas been hating and plotting, cause I stack and been chasing that broccoli. But I race to the top like I'm Rocky. Kick me down, but I came up. Bitches on me cause my chain's up. In the foreign now, switching lanes up. Yeah. See, I'm acting different like I'm famous. Mad at me cause my wave up. Man, I had to get it cause it stayed stuck.
Welcome back to Island Talk. Today, we have a very special episode in a very, very special place. Today, we have the owner of Richmond Hood himself. We have Tariq, also the owner of Bodega. And this is the number one spot, obviously, in Staten Island. Everybody knows that. All the outsiders always asking me where to come. This is the number one spot. And before anything, we just want to dig into your background a little bit, find out how did this come to be. If you just dive into it and tell us about the beginnings. How did this come? How did you become the number one spot in Staten Island?
I don't know if we're the number one spot yet.
Well,
thank you.
No cap.
We're a spot. And I want to say I'm co-owner. I got a strong team. It's not just me making the moves over here. Shout out to the squad. We saw a void. Me and my partner Mike over here. We had a design studio before we had the sneaker store. So we used to constantly make cool t-shirts and cool websites, and we designed some trade booths, and we did some really cool design projects, logo design, merchandise design. And so we were always in a creative headspace. And for years, we had the design studio for years, but over those years, we would always say man, wouldn't it be cool if we could do this for Staten Island? Man, we could, we would come up with creatives for t-shirts, and we were like, man, this would be a dope Staten Island t-shirt, and that happened for years, and then we just saw an opportunity to pull the trigger, let's do this store thing, let's make some t-shirts, let's have more than just a t-shirt store, let's have a cool sneaker store, let's also hang cool artwork, and let's work with the local artists, and let's continue to create, except be more inclusive, include the locals, so it wasn't about making a store for us. Really, it was about creating a place where creatives could work together, could collaborate, vibe off of ideas, and use the store as a platform to have their t-shirts and their brands and their products on the shelves. We're a little bit more connected than mall stores. So we were able to sell t-shirts that no one knew about, and we've also been able to sell t-shirts that are really popular in the marketplace. About 12 years now we've been rocking at the Richmond Hood Company. It's been a slow and steady grind. It's a lot of fun because I'm a people person, so I get to meet people, I get to talk sometimes a little too much.
But you're originally from Brooklyn, so what made you push to Staten Island?
I'm originally from Brooklyn, man. A lot of people don't know that about me. Some people do. I've been out here long enough. I rep the borough.
I'm glad, because most people are not going to know that.
Yeah.
So put on for the island.
Right.
I feel like Brooklyn made me, and Staten Island saved me.
So who do you identify? What borough you identify with? If you have to check off Brooklyn or Staten Island, which borough you
That's
identify?
not even fair, bro.
Right? I'm by borough. That's what I said in the first episode. I'm from both.
By borough. Yeah, I love Brooklyn. I love New York City. I'm a city slicker to heart. I love New York. I love the energy that it brings. I love the inspiration that it provides. I love the colorful backdrop that by default you're gonna see and find yourself in every day, no matter where you go. So it's a really special place, where it's gonna be a raw and real place for you to find yourself. New York City, residents have a little bit more edge. You know, I'll never forget, years ago, I was with a homie. We were in Virginia, and my man Mike, he would barbecue every day, but he was like, God damn, Rick, he was like, you walk fast, you talk, everything you do is fast, man, like, slow down, man. So I'm like, that's that New York City vibe,
Yeah.
Move quickly, think quickly, you know.
Everything.
Sometimes you gotta react quickly, and that's just a part of my makeup, I guess, and all of your makeups too. So, you know, I would spread the love. I'm a Brooklyn kid, but I'm in the borough. They say ain't where you from is where you at. So
Right. Yeah.
So,
Big fact.
I have a question. So tell us a little bit how you got into being a creative. Like, did you go to school for this?
no, no, actually, this is it's just, I don't know, like my
A dream, a passion?
The people, like my homie, like
The
I was
demand.
not even. You know what it is? I think Sean like sparked this creative. Sean White from the barbershop, right?
Okay.
The homie Sean, shout out. I was always studious, and I think I was reading some books, and I was talking to him about things that the government does, like real conspiracy theorist type shit. And he was like, "Bro, you're like messing up my high. Just go write a book or something. Just leave me alone."
Do something.
Right now. Yeah, he was like, "Yo, you're messing me up right now, man." So that right then and there, I feel sparked this creative thing in me, and I started to write poetry to kind of like get my thoughts and my thing out. And I started to write poetry, and I started to perform poetry.
Fire.
And that, you know, kind of always kept me in a creative space, just observing people and being present in the moments. Like, this is happening right now. This is inspirational. This is funny. This is sad. This is, you know, very connected to the emotions around me, and I would try to channel that and tell it in a nice story, in a nice way. So that sparked a creative person in me, and then with the design studio, working with Mike Boo, he's a beast. He's the most creative individual I know. Like, he's a genius in my eyes. So working with him, I'm the guy you gotta tell to chill, you know. Like, let's do this, let's do that, let's
Everything.
do this. And he's like, all right, relax.
One thing at a time.
You know, so that kept me always in a creative space, and then, you know, kind of like creating products that were well received in the marketplace. You know,
Right.
that's like, holy shit, they're wearing my shit. You know, like they like it too. You know,
You self-taught?
self-taught,
YouTube school,
self-taught,
YouTube
yeah.
University.
Yeah, going through it. Yep.
And let's talk about, because obviously the creativity is validated when you have Nike now as a partner here.
Yeah.
In terms of like what the store means. I believe, to my knowledge, this is the only store that really has a relationship with Nike to that extent.
I mean, there's other stuff. I mean, we have a mall. We have a big mall in Osnico. There's other
For
stores.
the SB,
Yeah,
you
but
guys are the only ones.
we're the only authorized SB dealer in the borough. We are about that life. You know what I'm saying? If you know me, I ride my bike to work.
Right.
My partner Mike, he's the skater of the two. And those are our happy places, man. We like recreating. We like getting scraped up and, you know, falling off things.
So, and I'd be interested to know, how did that relationship foster with the Nike? How did they find you guys?
There was nothing happening in the borough. I cashed in all the favors I had owed.
Wow.
Over the years, you know, I was a barber by trade for many years. So yeah, when we decided to do this, I'm like, legit, I need you to call that guy for me. I need you to call that guy for me. I don't know this guy. I need you to call that guy for me. Like, every favor that I had owed, I cashed.
Nice.
And
As you should. It's always about who you know.
it's who you know.
Yeah, it's never what you know, it's who you know.
You
How
know?
to utilize your network.
Like, you
Yeah.
have to. That's in life and in
Shout
any
out
field.
to Darren. I just want to say shout out to Darren.
Shout out Darren.
Shout out to
Darren.
Udi. If you guys know Udi. He's a beast. OG in the game.
Yeah. What led you to expand into like the skating and things like that, and having been in skate shop?
We just didn't want like a sneaker and t-shirt store. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they already have in the mall. You know,
right.
And we're all about countercultures. You know, like New York City in itself breeds somewhat of a counterculture. You know,
right.
And the action sports enthusiasts, the skaters, the BMXers, you know, like those guys are badass, you know what I'm saying? Like they fall on concrete all day.
Yeah.
You know, they get slapped with wood. They're
Four
doing
more times when they get up.
Yeah.
I mean, and more times than they land.
They land, yeah. So like, you know, that in itself, it and it's all about individuality, you know, like the person on the skateboard, the person on the BMX bike, that's them.
Right.
It ain't a team sport, you know. Right. This is me and how much will and desire and courage I have to do this stair set or to jump off of this ledge and hopefully not break my neck, you know.
Right. They look like the average men, like professional skaters, bikers, BMXers. They look like us.
They are.
But they're like,
you know, but they're special, man. So we wanted to have something that paid homage to that person in the city. The New Yorker that doesn't care what you say or how you feel. I'm going to dress the way I dress.
Right.
I'm going to look how I look. I'm going to, you know, like I embody. I'm going to be me. Yeah. You know, I'm going to be me.
So you just had I don't know if it was an endorsement with Pepsi. They just did a whole ad with you and they named you the Soul of Staten Island. And when I saw it, I was like, yes, like this is like, he really is the Soul of Staten Island. And to come from, you know, starting your first shop where it was just an idea that turned into an actual thing. And all these years later to, you know, being such a staple in the community. For me, I think I just want to know, like, how were you so well received? Because in Staten Island, I feel like a lot of people have like, they want to do stuff, but they're so afraid of how people will receive them and if they'll be supported. It's hard for people out here to get that support. So how did you, like, were you always supported? And if you weren't, how did you go through that?
That's a good question, Jati. Thank you.
Good karma.
I mean, I
being yourself is what leads all that.
I feel. I mean, thank you. Like, I feel like all those things had a part in it, but we just had something that we strongly believed in, and like we really like put our soul into what we have. For every client, for every t-shirt design, like, and it kind of showed. So when we did this was it was received citywide, which was kind of, it was bigger than just the borough because the rest of the city was cheering us on.
Right.
Like the shops in Brooklyn and like that community from the rest of New York City was like, hell yeah, Staten Island. Let's get it.
We're
finally.
For it. Yeah.
Finally, you know what I'm saying? And there was a shop out here years ago. I was a shorty coming to that shop, you know. But
what was it called? Do you remember?
A Year in a Day. A Year in a Day skate shop. They had the spot right there by McDonald's Park on Forest Avenue. And then they tried to do bigger business and went into the mall. And
I was going to ask you too, have you ever had the opportunity to like commercialize yourself a little bit more?
It's scary. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
you won't sell out.
I mean,
what would be selling out?
I don't know. I just did an ad for Pepsi. It's just
That's different.
No, shout out to Pepsi too. I just want to say that was dope, Jati, because you spoke to it. That was a really cool experience. I don't know how it went down. It went down.
Shout out to Pepsi research team.
That's how the best is. It's like, I don't know how I'm here, but we're here and it's
they
lit.
found me in there.
It's because you deserve it.
All right.
Get your flowers now.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, what are your thoughts about now the culture being the way that is monetized, right? Like now you have, I'm sure you remember Supreme in the 90s compared to like Supreme today and the resale market.
And yeah, the sneaker culture. I was telling you got to talk about
and
this.
you have SB Dunks on the feet right now. And you also have You see it.
It's
Let
different.
them know.
You
It's
see it.
different.
It's different.
You see it. Talk about how like that culture has now clashed into your world, because I know you're growing up, and now you're seeing how the resale market was going on, and the way the supply chains are connected, and the way that Nike has an oversight over this, the regulations. Like, what are your thoughts on the resale market, and how do you battle the constant temptations of, hey, guy, yo, hook me up, because I'm sure.
I feel like you're trying to preserve, in my opinion, you're trying to preserve the sneaker culture, like the original sneaker culture.
But I know it's not easy.
Skateboarder sneaker culture.
Be easy.
Well, we're not here for the resellers, right? Like, that's the reality. I love putting regular people in the shoes that no one can get. Right.
Resellers don't drive business for you.
Right. They exactly. Like, that doesn't benefit, our brand or our business in any way. I have friends that are resellers, props and good luck to them. You know what I'm saying? Go do your thing. But, I'm not your plug. Sorry. Not sorry.
Fuck.
But yeah, like, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in our business plan. Like, New York City, we want to embody the street uniform of New York City.
Right.
That's a pair of kicks, a hoodie, and a hat. Like, that's a street uniform. Like,
Facts.
365 days a year. Like, that's a valid fit. Fresh kicks, hoodie, hat. I'm done.
In summer, you got the hoodie still right here.
Right.
And they still selling.
Right. And even that in itself, like, understanding, like, that it's a global marketplace. And we're having that conversation right now, me and my team. One of my team members is like, yo, why do we have hoodies on? It's the middle of summer. I'm like, it's cold somewhere right now, bruh.
Yeah.
And we're in
When
New
that
York
sun go
City.
down.
We're a New York City
I
school.
travel because I work
Right.
in the city. So when you go on that train and that AC bumping, or you go on that city bus and that AC bumping,
gotta stay
it's okay
ready.
to have a hoodie on.
It's okay
Some
to have a
sleeves
hoodie.
on, I'm telling you.
I wanted to mention, because I saw you got a lot of backlash when you were restructuring kind of like how you release your sneakers and things like that, and I don't remember exactly, but it was like if you have a report, because you have a reward system over here, like if you come and it's a reward system, so you were prioritizing those people, and the internet like didn't take a liking to it, and you kind of caught some.
They
backlash.
tried to cancel you?
He caught the backlash.
They tried to cancel
You bought a cancel culture? Are we in the wrong shop? Are we in the wrong shop?
So, like, again, this is a living, breathing thing for us, and my team would always say, "Yo, reward the locals, right?
Right.
Reward the locals." So for many years, we had a rewards program. So basically, if you shopped at the store regularly, you stacked points. And you were able to redeem those points for fresh releases. You feel me? So it
had nothing to do with the raffle, though.
Nothing
to
wasn't
do with
raffle
Because people
related.
were probably taking it as that, though.
It wasn't
Like,
raffle
they'll get the
related.
pics of the raffle, though.
They couldn't even come in the store. If you haven't
There
came
was
in
no
here and
raffle.
shopped in here, you don't even have a shot.
Right.
And you incentivize them for the community.
We need to be here. We need you to buy socks too. We need you to buy t-shirts too.
All that.
Right.
We need
Right?
we need you to shop for your auntie and your cousins that are visiting, and like pull up before you go to the mall.
Before
please.
you go to the finish line, come here.
Yeah,
Before you
just
go to
give
the-
us a shot because we're small business. We're not corporate backed. We need that opportunity to put you in something that's special.
Well, that's dope because a lot of people won't cater to the locals because
there's a
usually
lot of
where
more
you
money
also,
other
but
places
where
too.
you're at is where you get the least support.
Because the big corporates are what they try
So
to
that's the big stigma is where your station is where you get the least support.
True.
So
Thank
for
you
you
for
to
that.
for you to do that and it work is
It
dope
worked. Staten
to
Island
like you
came
said
out.
to the brand and what you're pushing and what you believe in and how people are receiving it and it's working.
So now how are you doing it?
Right now we're doing a raffle.
In-store
raffle.
So no more of the other stuff?
We stopped the point system because, like I was saying, when I met with the consultant homie, she was like, you have to grow your business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, all right.
She was like, legit,
yeah.
bro. Like, this is such a sweet story. I love you. I love this store. But, bro,
She had all her butts.
she was like, all of this cool stuff, all of this nice stuff that you're doing right now and wholesome.
It's not
Not
gonna
profitable.
pulling along.
She was
Yeah.
like,
No,
it's-
everyone deserves it, not
It's
just that.
not going to serve you good if you're closed
no,
in
yeah,
2
no,
years.
yeah, no.
But
yeah.
now, with this process, it's more democratic, and I'm sure you're getting people from out of boroughs coming to
It
Staten
is.
Island
It's
for the
tough.
first
It's a
time.
tough one.
Right.
So now, that's what I was saying before. Like, you are the gateway to a lot of people when it comes to Staten Island, because sometimes I'm sure people from Queens, the Bronx, Jersey, hey, let me go to this spot
Come
because they're
out.
raffling.
Yeah, come
they're
out.
raffling those SBs. And it's worth the $16.
How'd you come up with the name? Richmond Hood Company.
Oh, man, that's Mike's brainchild, man. Again, like...
What does it mean, too? Is it because of the county from Staten Island?
Well...
Because in Richmond, you got Road
So-
Avenue.
But we're
Sarah's-
Richmond County. That's our county, no?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
Staten Island is one county.
Yeah.
Technically.
So is that plays on it? No?
It's part of it, obviously, because that's the county in which we reside. But there's about 27 cities of Richmond across the country.
yeah.
So we're looking to kind of like be their spot too, right?
That'd be dope. You get it in like Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
Shit.
So when we do like geo-targeted ads, we geo-target those cities
Genius.
That's
because they're like, there's a store named Richmond. I
And
live
this
in
is something
Richmond.
before-
And
I
people
live
with
in
jacket,
New York.
regardless. Yeah.
Right. So
Quick question, quick fire one. Your favorite sneaker of all time?
my favorite sneaker of all time. So I gotta say, like, I'm not a wild sneakerhead, right? I was a poor kid from Brooklyn. Now I'm just a poor adult in Staten Island.
Same.
I've never purchased a pair of Jordans. Like, again,
You've never still?
still. I can
What, are
can
you
afford a pair of
are you
Jordans.
stand-
today,
Wait,
finally.
are you standing on this? So when you
Finally.
die, I've
Right.
never bought a pair of Jordans.
I've
That's
never
what you did?
bought a pair of Jordans. Like, I tried to wear Jordans. They weren't, like, I have wide feet, so
Me
I
too.
need
You
a
talking
specific wear. Nothing. We've had them, like, we've shown and showcased a lot of heat in here.
So what would it get you to buy a pair of Jordans?
Yeah.
Nothing at this point. He doesn't want them.
He doesn't want them. He doesn't want them.
It's not his cause.
No, I mean, like, I like being comfortable, right?
You was Isaiah Thomas fan, huh?
No,
He
not
doesn't
at all.
I thought it was gonna be a Knicks thing.
Yeah, not even. I had my Ewing. That was my hottest shoe as a kid growing up.
The Ewing,
I had my
yeah.
Ewings.
Those are
And
comfy
they tried
too.
to rob me for my Ewings. They didn't get my Ewings.
They
That's
didn't
that
get 'em.
Brooklyn shit.
They didn't get 'em.
They tried, but they didn't get them. But that was like the hottest pair of kicks I had as a shorty. As an adult, like, I don't
Favorite
know,
SB? Favorite SB?
My favorite SB is I gotta say I'm gonna say the skunk. I'm gonna say the Dunk skunk.
Okay.
If you want to tell them why it's your favorite,
Just because.
all right,
Okay.
we'll go with that.
Because.
We'll go with that.
The skunk is a classic. It's of all time, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
it's you can check those prices.
I like my favorite was the Milli Vanilli. I like the dreadlock laces they had. I like that sneaker
So
a
dope.
lot. And the 720s was nice too.
Yeah.
And the Skater Dives was
Yeah. We had all of them, man. Like, and sometimes I don't even know, like, how a shoe will respond in the marketplace. Like, I don't.
Right.
You
I
don't.
have no
know.
idea.
I didn't know
market's
that.
irrational.
I didn't know SB was doing what they're doing now, like
Yeah.
with the resale market. I didn't know that. I would have kept the ones I had.
Yeah.
Shit drives me crazy.
And I had a quick question, being that this is like an outlet for creators. We see a lot of Staten Island art all over here.
Marcus Allen.
I've even been to
Shout out
album
to
release
Marcus
parties
Allen.
here.
Right.
I went to an album release party here. He threw
You
a block party.
had battle rap concerts in here too.
Oh, the rap battles were fun.
How can
I'm a big
Staten
battle rap
Island-
fan, so I've seen that.
How can a Staten Island creative put their art? Like, what would be the process to get their products up
Their
there?
Good question.
Or what are you looking
T-shirts,
for?
art, clothing, whatever.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I say just come to the store, meet
Talk, yeah.
us. Yeah, like let's vibe out. Like I keep telling people, this store is not here for me. It's my job. It's my day job. But we're here for the community. We're here to serve as a platform. We're here to be the spot. For you to shop at, for you to create, and we can help you sell some t-shirts. We can hang your artwork. I've sold artwork right off of the wall.
Yeah, I hear this
Nice.
though, no, because we need more places like you,
Right.
especially on the island.
Yeah,
then
you're even doing it with
that's
Bodega.
dope.
So
Exactly.
let's talk about Bodega too, because this is first of all, you have two amazing businesses. They're right next door to each other.
You're the owner of Castleton Ave, as far as I'm concerned. you own
And the
this
thing
block.
about this, if you want to talk to Terry, 9 times out of 10, you can pull up over here and he's gonna be here putting in that work in the field.
I'll be putting in that work.
You are
yeah.
always like, as I'm saying,
I'm
like,
saying, I
we
met
can
you.
pull up. He's
I'm
gonna be
telling you, I
there.
met you when the store first opened up.
Dope.
I
And
was
you've
in it
been
before
you've been
it first
vegan with Bodega. You've been vegan for like what? So you said 6-7 years
About
now.
6 years. 6 years, and it's been quite the journey for me, man. Like again, living in New York my whole life, being a New Yorker, like the appreciating what a bodega is for the neighborhood, for the community, you know. But far too often, it's been, you know, that's been a contributing part to the detriment of the health in that community. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Right.
And you know, I felt like same thing. We were filling a void here. The passion in me wanted to bring something more to the neighborhood and the community with respect to, you know, food options. You know, I remember years ago they did like fruit stands, like the carts that they have in Manhattan. Because they did a study, and they were like, Staten Island is the most, all our communities in the hood, all our hood communities out here have no access to fresh fruits.
Nothing.
Oh, wow.
So it was a pilot program they introduced, and they had the cart right there on Bay and Victory where the taco stand is now.
New Brain had one.
That
Remember
was,
Now there's farmers markets every
remember the
Saturday
one
in
across from-
certain locations.
Across
Now
from
it's
that-
different.
Those parking lots, they had one right across New Brighton. Where they had the
what,
fruits.
Girardi's is over
No,
there.
Girardi's, they're still open.
Yeah.
Right?
Girardi's
They
is
had
still
that shit,
open.
yeah.
Yeah, they used to have both sides of the street. Now they're just on one side of the street.
Yeah.
But they have fresh fruit, they have plants.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're always
Used to
open.
get milk,
and they
gallons
take,
of milk
you
from
know,
them. My grandma used to
EBT,
drive
all
by.
that. They're definitely a staple in the community.
I love
but they're the only
Yep,
ones.
yep.
You live in my same area. There's nothing there.
Correct.
There's no organic health food stores. There's nowhere you can even really go get like a smoothie.
Well,
or
they
like a
always
juice.
say it's expensive too. That's why. Too.
Right.
And let's
They
talk,
always say vegan is more expensive. Organic's more expensive.
It's not. It's a little bit more, you know.
A little bit.
And like even that was my discovery when I started getting catalogs and access to food service items. I'm like, yo, it's only like a few more bucks for
$1.50 more,
organic,
right,
you know,
right.
like so.
It's worth it.
Why don't more people offer fresh organic goods?
people have to look at it from this
You go
perspective.
to the supermarket, it'd be one aisle of
Organics.
And taking it from this perspective is really an investment, right? Because health is wealth. So at the end of the day, you're gonna try to find the cheap ways. You're gonna find some consequences or repercussions down the line. So you have to invest in your health. You have to look at the better option. And Bodega just fulfills that.
The name is dope.
How has it been
it's a-
juggling,
Okay, well, now, who came up with
juggling
that
both
name?
business,
Bodega's
going from
dope.
retail
I like that
to
name.
food, and like I know it was a heavy transition. So what is
It's been my experience with the retail store has helped me understand inventory management, the ordering process, and maintaining inventory and shelf space and all of that good stuff. So that kind of paved the way for the business next door because it functions in a similar manner. And years ago, I had developed a business plan for a coffee shop. So understanding the numbers, how many cups of coffee you have to sell, how many croissants you have to sell, how much personnel and staff you need to keep on deck for a period of the day. Like all those things were like I went through the process of learning and understanding it. So I always had that in my back pocket. Like I feel like I could run and manage a coffee shop or run and manage another thing, and like with the COVID, the sneaker store was closed. Like we were out of business for months, closed.
Due to
the
I mean,
COVID,
but besides
sure.
just COVID, but due to like what particularly like
We couldn't open the door like legit, so we had to transition to 100% online sales. And
they were even doing pickups. Like if you wanted to shop, you could pick it up in
Yeah,
the store
like
and
we
stuff
just-
like
did
that.
it affect sales dramatically or
Hell yeah. Like that was a scary, period. Not really, being able to see what the future may hold.
Right.
It's scary,
A lot of businesses that are making
any
through
PPP
COVID.
loans or
No, like I didn't take any PPP loans. We maintained. I got my little unemployment. Same thing you
Yep.
got and everybody else
exactly,
got.
yeah.
Right.
Uh,
So what
and
do
I-
you think it was in regards to you guys specifically that helped keep you guys afloat while
Yeah.
other businesses completely just went under?
Did Bodega
'Cause not
open
everyone made
during
it.
the pandemic?
We opened next door during the pandemic.
During the pandemic?
In
Yeah.
January we opened. Our overhead is low. You know what I'm saying? Like in all due reality, we're a short staff. We're a small crew over here.
I wanted to ask that too though, because the business you open that business and you talk about business a lot as if you know it. So and obviously that's grew due to experience and shit like that. But did you ever have like that you hire somebody fresh out of college, being a business management, and he's managing the store?
That's
or,
next.
Or
Like,
you're the
that's
co-owner
next.
and the manager.
That's next for me. Like we have more goals, and part of those goals are another location. So when we get to that point, then it's time for that
Yeah, to have like a
college grad.
manager.
Yeah.
Like,
General
hold the block
manager.
down.
Yeah, because it seems like you learning this by the fly and
Right.
you've been successful at it, but not everybody will do that.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice to have someone that went to school for a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, exactly.
Keep them in your back pocket.
Exactly.
Which leads me to believe, I know you have a third venture already in the back of your mind that you've been thinking or...
Yeah, vacation.
You need a day off.
It's hilarious. But is there going to be something in 2025, something in 2026?
Nothing new, man. Like food service is it's a special thing for me. It's my first like food service venture. I have a newfound respect for everyone in the food service industry.
It's tough.
Shout out to the food community.
Shout out to the food
Yeah.
community, the waiters, the waitresses, the cooks, the prep cooks, like everybody from top to bottom, But I immersed myself in it.
That made it through a pandemic too, though. Because you opened it during the pandemic.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, yo, if I can't sell sneakers, I gotta sell sandwiches.
Gotta
I gotta
sell
sell
food,
Flip the
yeah.
hustle.
You know
Flip
what
the
I'm saying?
hustle.
Like, this is wild. So we saw an opportunity.
Was it
free, you get your bacon, egg,
discouraging?
and
Because
cheese in the shirt.
because Bodega was already a plan before. It was already
Yeah.
in the works. So
that
for
was 3
it
years
to-
in the making.
For it to have finally got here and then for everything to kind of shut
Yeah.
down, like how discouraging was that? Did you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it, or did you feel like I can't sell sneakers right now, so we gotta open this up and we gotta get this?
People gotta eat.
More that than anything.
Right.
It was like, all right, you are an essential business. All you have to do is just open up, do it right, and serve it up.
The community loves it.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, because I have, my
that's
friends in other
great.
restaurants, their businesses thrived because they were on top of their business. You know what I'm saying? Like my homies that have bars, they were like, yo, we never sold this much beer. We're like, this is insane. It's a good period for us. And food is essential, and we, the service offering is niche and special. So we saw it as an opportunity to like put ourselves out there while the marketplace is kind of calm. There's not much happening. 500 stores, 600 stores closed in New York City. Like
Crazy.
Not everyone made it.
It's not a bad idea to open an essential business during the pandemic. It's not a bad idea.
Let's talk about...
Especially right next door to your non-essential business that's like, everybody knows where to find you. It's like, I guess sneakers are non-essential. I was like, I need to go shopping.
Damn, I wanted sneakers, but let me go get this.
yeah.
I come, every time I come, I go both.
And I also just want
It's
to
a pair.
speak to like legit the outpour of love that we received when the pandemic first happened. Like people were hitting us like, yo, I don't need t-shirts, but I hope that you guys make it through. I'm buying my family t-shirts, like I don't need to shop right now, but you guys are dope, so I'm buying all my cousins t-shirts.
Love is
Real,
free.
recognize
Love
real.
is free.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
when
Love is
you
free.
pour out into the community is gonna receive that, and it's gonna reciprocate it. I feel
You
like
hope.
It's a reflection.
no, but
'Cause
it's
there's haters.
genuine. It's genuine. At
But
the
the
end of the
haters
day,
don't even matter
They don't.
so much.
They're
don't.
validated.
people
And we don't have-
people
you're not-
pay
you
so
don't-
much attention to the haters.
Yeah.
Imagine you let the haters stop you.
Yeah. I
No, but
wanted
with
to say
social
that
media and
too,
all that
like,
shit, it can build a bad narrative. So you gotta fight and you gotta keep saying.
But you have to
love
stay
and
true to yourself.
That's it.
Yeah.
Stay true to yourself.
The
And it don't
haters
matter.
don't get any of my attention. right?
Too much love.
Only if they're trying to buy some t-shirts.
Okay.
And wait,
You're my homie then. Hey,
How's
Take
the-
the wallet,
It's
man.
so
how's
funny
the
'cause-
competition out here though for your space on the island?
I mean,
Is there
again,
really competition for
Yeah,
you?
I know
it's
what it
tough
is.
to say because
I don't wanna bring up other stores' names, but-
Nobody does it like you
They
guys.
don't.
But
Yeah.
I know.
I don't
I mean, I don't want to bring up names, but I know Bridge Boys had the. Do they still have their store?
Reese the Brody.
Yeah.
He had the spots. You know, it's
Then you
tough,
like you said,
man.
Oz Nico,
Osnico,
stuff like that.
that's Mike. He's those guys. They do what they do. They're OG'd in the
Oh,
business.
so
They're
you
OGs.
network with all of them.
You
and
know,
shit.
I know them all.
And
They're
we're
all
rooting for all the
cool.
small
Yeah,
businesses
it's
to
like,
win.
Get your money.
They just
So
they
do your
opened the
thing,
new
you know?
spot on was it Forest, right?
on Forest.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, they have 2 locations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you can't anyone who's putting in that work and getting up every day and on their grind. Like props to those
Yeah,
guys
facts.
and women.
What advice could you have for somebody that? Because me and myself, I told you I have plans to open something and do things in the future, and I know I have to. The most basic advice you could give is believe in yourself. You know what I mean? But some real solid. What is a first step that somebody should take before they want to do all get into all of this?
Mike Boo, he's the hard ass of the bunch, but he's a beast, and he ensured that we had a business plan. So before this story even happened, me and my team, we met every week for a whole year. I had homework, he had homework every week. We were coming back with papers and presentations and shooting that shit because this was I've never had a sneaker store before, but here we are. We're getting ready to spend all this money, invest all of this time into something we believe in. Now let's make that a reality, and you can kind of have an understanding of it as a plan in black and white, not just a wishful dream that I dream of this and I dream of that. Yeah, dream big, but business is don't care about your dreams.
Right.
Right.
Business
Exactly. That's
Right.
crazy that you asked that too. Because I
Exactly.
hit up one of my boys
Yeah.
who's in the industry, and I just was like, "Yo, I need to pick your brain for something, just to pick his brain and learn some things. Not particularly what to get into this business, but just business in general."
So have a plan, have a business plan.
Real
When
solid.
we had a business plan with a 3-year, 5-year,
How'd you find your
7-year.
team? Did they find you? Because a lot of it's hard to. They're always your what do they call it? Your village. So it's but sometimes it has to find you. It's not always
Yeah.
the people that are in front of you that are gonna put that work in.
I think again that was me being just this wild, crazy thinking dude, and I recognized the talent around me, and I was like, "Yo, Mike, let's do this. Let's create. Let's make dope shit."
right.
And there was no envy, there was no hate, there was nothing but love and respect to this date. Although I'm sure I piss him off.
Yeah, that's regular.
But yeah, man, you can't do it alone. I tattooed it on my arm. Teamwork makes a dream work.
Love that.
Because I believe in that wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do it alone.
Anything.
You shouldn't
Can't
want
do
to do
anything
it
alone.
alone.
Shouldn't want to,
Yeah, you shouldn't want
Kevin
to do
Durant
it
had to
alone.
join the Warriors. LeBron had to go to Miami.
Yeah,
no matter how
need
great you are.
Yeah.
And no nepotism. They should be capable. They should be competent.
Yeah,
they should be present. They should show up, and they should contribute in the best manner possible.
Looking back to your career, any mistakes that looking back now were perhaps the biggest learning lesson for you? Where somewhere you messed up and you're just happy that
How
happened?
much time do we have?
Or the biggest
Mistakes.
learning curve?
I don't really know. Really, I think this has been just a wild shot at doing this thing we kind of talked about over years. It's we pay attention. You have to pay attention to the business. Fashion and footwear it requires a different skill set and attention. By the way, I'm the least fresh out my team.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. Even though you're
Knees
dripping in
fresh.
those, I don't know.
Because I'm trying to be like them.
I'm trying to make
Trying to put on a good reputation.
Yeah. No, where'd you get your apron from Bodega? That shit is hard.
Right.
That's my man Haas. I met Haas, Kwame, at the Pepsi shoot, man. We pulled up on the block, and I'm like, all right, this guy looks like he's here the same way I'm here. So I was like, who are you? What's your name?
Yeah.
You know, what do you do? I want to meet you. You're special, you know. And he makes these really dope aprons. And he blessed me with one. I love wearing it.
It's fly. It's like splattered
I gotta
paint.
see it.
Yeah.
He's dope.
I shot a video with him in it for Mikey Likes It, and the whole time I was editing it, I'm like, I love this freaking apron.
Fire.
Yeah.
He's dressed Oprah Winfrey.
That's fire.
And a bunch of celebrity chefs. So he's sought after like that in that space, and I feel special every time.
Hell yeah, that's amazing.
That's a big flex.
How does sports correlate with this? Because sports is a big market.
Yeah.
And especially with sneakers. I know you do the SB thing, but how does sports correlate with what you got going on in here?
It's interesting. That's a good question too, man. Thank you. The skating community are not really super duper sports enthusiasts, but there are some.
Yeah, won't watch they're
There are
based
some, right.
solely with that.
But the irony of it all is that you have basketball players and football players who want to dress like the skateboarders do.
Yep.
Or, you know,
Exactly.
they want to rock that skateboarder vibe. So it's just interesting. Again, I think it's we have a vintage category. We support New York, you know.
They always have vintage jerseys and all of that.
So
all the old stuff.
I just love the Staten Island shit, man.
yeah.
I'm biased because I'm Staten Island. Like,
So
I
like,
got some vintage from Fresh Kills right now.
That's right. Stay fresh.
I have a map of Staten Island. Something representing the
Let's
wool.
go.
Hey. Oh, Wu-Tang,
this is
you
Staten
have
Island
a
brand too. This my
developed
boy.
relationship
This my
with
boy
like
Still shit.
with Method Man and
Staten
Redman.
Island.
How did that come about?
Yes, if you can speak about the relationship you have with the wool.
Man, so that's a long relationship, right? Because many moons ago, I was a barber. I'm a barber by trade, and
What shop?
I used to cut hair at Roots and Culture. We used to cut at King of Kings, hair and nails.
Oh,
on Bay
King of
Street.
Kings.
If you know, you know.
It's closed now.
So I know Red and Meth. Like, I know Meth before they got signed. Like the Woo was coming into the barbershop because Mo is Ghostface's cousin and Riz's cousin. So they would come see Mo.
He's still cutting hair
Right,
out here.
he's still lacing it.
Yeah,
One
shout
of
out
the
to
best
his sons.
barbers.
They have
Yes.
So we talking
the Black Kings clothing line. They're out here selling it in the street and
Right.
getting that money.
We're talking Statue of Liberty meth.
Statue of Liberty Meth. Right. So I used to cut Red's manager's hair.
Okay.
So he put me next to Red to make sure I can groom him whenever he needed a cut. And, you know, like the Clan guys would just pull up in the barbershop. So that rapport was, you know, developed over years, like early in their career. When Ray and Ghost just left the studio with Jodeci pulling up in the Forerunner with the demo of their song together. You know what I'm saying?
fire.
Like those days. And just recently, about a year or two ago, I had a really cool hip hop moment with Meth. So I'm a hip hop junkie, right? So years ago in the barbershop, I had 2 albums on my counter: Goody Mob Still Standing and Outkast Aquemini, right? And Meth came in the barbershop, and he was talking smack, like, oh, who's now jumping on down south's tip, you know? Oh, who's down with the dirty now? Oh boy, someone else jumping on the south, down south tip. And I was like, yo, I don't know what you talking about. I was like, those albums are fire, bro. Like fire.
Legendary albums.
Right.
So that was that. Fast forward 15, 20 years later, we're in Colorado, and I'm with them for a 420 show, and we stopped by this dispensary, and I asked Meth, it was me, him, Red, and some shoppers in there, and I was like, yo, you mess with Andre 3 Stacks, bro? And then he was like, what? And then he busts out into an Andre 3000 song. Wow. And then he gets stumbled on some lyrics, so then I interject and follow through with the lyrics. So now it's me and Meth in a dispensary
Out loud.
in Colorado, out loud,
Rapping 3 stacks.
spitting 3 stacks.
Wait, do you remember what song?
Colorado.
It was like, I thought to myself, that's a shape of things to come. She said, when you in a club, why you don't make it rain? So that song would make it precipitate. That song,
Yeah.
I forget the name of the song. I said, wow, the world needs sun. There's a war going on. Half the battle is guns. So how dare I throw
It's
it on?
not
Half the
liberation.
battle is funds. So how dare I throw it on the floor when people are poor? So I write like Edgar Allan to restore.
Come on, 3 Stacks is.
Yeah, so it was that song, and the hip hop kid in me is like, oh my gosh, I'm spitting darts with Meth about like my favorite MC right now.
That's
Like,
crazy.
Holy shit!
That's
And
fire.
it took everything in me not to geek out that moment.
That is crazy.
That's a fact. Favorite hip hop album of all time?
Aquemini.
You had that
Favorite
ready.
artist of all
No,
time?
yeah, you had to think about that. You had that.
Aquemini.
Who's your favorite artist of all time?
I think Andre 3 Stacks is my favorite
For
artist
real?
of all
And he's
time.
so chill. You'll
That's
be.
dope.
I used to work in.
Because he gets his credit, but not people call him. Not a lot of people
Andre
call him their
3000
favorite.
just be walking in Soho like a regular person.
Gets his credit.
Right.
Favorite New York rapper of all time?
Favorite New York rapper of all time. Right now.
No, of all time.
Of all time.
All time.
And then tell us who you listen to right now. One of your favorites.
I wanna know your
hopefully,
favorite
I want to know if you
rapper
listen to
right
some
now.
of these new guys. But
I think Nas just resonates with me so much.
Okay.
And how he writes and pens.
story, like
Yeah.
Illmatic at 17 or 18 is still wild to me.
for sure.
anybody new you like now?
Yeah, man. I'm
The young boys I'm talking about, not.
I'm putting on for that kid Lou from Paradise.
Lou from
man.
Paradise.
West
From
Brighton,
Staten
West
Island.
Brighton.
Lou from Paradise. He just
Shout out to Lou.
shout out Lou, man.
Yeah, you got the merch in Richmond Hood.
Outsider. But he just dropped a fire project with Static Selector. There's a Nas sample on one of his songs.
Well, I gotta listen.
Yeah, like he went big with that Nas sample. Lou is cool because he says what he says to me one time. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna be big. Like, I'm gonna be Michael Jackson big."
Manifesting.
And I was like, "Let's get it, bro.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel.
Yeah, let's do it.
I feel
Go
that
get
too,
it."
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not too many people have heard of his Painkiller Paradise project, but I'm gonna encourage everyone, go check Painkiller Paradise, right? And check his most recent work with Static Selector. So the Painkiller Paradise, he's Lou the Human.
Mm-hmm.
He's Lou from Paradise now because
Rebrand.
Interscope owns Lou the Human.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was signed
So
to
they switch it
Interscope.
up.
He was on tour with JID, and
Wow.
like,
Yeah.
he hit some
I've seen
stages.
things.
He performed at Governor's Ball, like couple.
So he had to get out that deal and rebrand.
Right.
So now that's what he's doing.
Right.
That's amazing.
But he's
You're
a
right,
beast.
he was Lou the Human
He can
before the
sing. He's got like a wild Tyler the Creator.
Yeah,
I love
that's the
Tyler
type
the
of
Creator.
sound he
Weekend,
got.
but the Weekend too. You
Yeah.
know,
I love
in the
The
mix. Yo, you'll like that album. Yeah.
Bobby, I love R&B. But I'm really happy that we got this chance to sit down with you
Likewise,
because
This was dope, bro.
this is
Really good.
thank you so much
Good dude.
for actually getting us.
Absolutely.
We're here in the shop. This is Island Talk's first time doing, like a trip, going somewhere to like
We outside.
represent.
Yeah.
And-
We outside.
So
We
it's big. This is
outside.
a big thing for us too. So just thank you so much. This season has been amazing, and for you to come, it means a lot to us because Staten Island, you're a huge staple in the culture, and we for me as a consumer, I've always come to your store. You call me by my first name. You know what I mean? Always
Right.
when I come here, I feel apart. I feel like connected, and that's something that I really cherish. So I just want to thank you for that too, and keep doing what you're doing. And we're out here just spreading the love, spreading, just the community value in Staten Island. We don't have a big, huge culture, but the people who are preserving it, they matter, and we want to give them their stage to you know what I mean, to represent for us, because these are the people who are here. And when the mall is closed and when everybody isn't listening, like, I could pull up to Bodega and have a regular conversation with Tyreek and it's lit. So I appreciate you for that, and thanks for coming on to our show.
Don't know you will be proud of you.
That's it. So I don't think it needs to be contested any further. If you're coming to Staten Island for the first time, you're looking for a dope spot where you could come shop and then you could eat. And then you can eat and come back and shop again. This is where it's at.
Yes, and there's art walls. Take some cute pictures. There's just so much going on.
You can buy some art too. My son Marcus is in here stunting.
Yes, and if you are somebody from Staten Island who wants to get your stuff involved, come pitch it.
Come talk to the man.
Because he's here. He's waiting for it.
And he's here every day?
Most days.
Don't tell people.
He's here most
said he was here.
He's around. I'm around.
Thank you so much, Tariq. See you guys later.
Love, Island Talk, Richmond Hood, love.